Setting up a portable sound system outside will take some planning and some effort. And so today we're going to be chatting about what are those things we need to do to set up a sound system properly outdoors. Hi, I'm Todd Bethel. Welcome to Tech Talk Tuesday. So, you're getting ready to do an outdoor event, and you're getting ready to put together a sound system to do that. Well, before you do the event, there are a couple of things you want to think about. First of all, you want to think about the application. Is it going to be a person speaking? Is it going to be just background music? It's going to be a DJ or even a live band. All those different applications require a different system setup. Once you figure out what the application is going to be, then you're going to want to think about what's your coverage. How wide of an area that you want to cover and how deep of an area you want to cover. From a person that's sitting up close to a person that's sitting maybe 100 feet away. Well, that's your coverage space. And then you have to think about how loud you want this event to be. Because like I said, you got to think about, every person, you want every person to be able to hear clearly and precisely. The other thing you want to consider too is, how many channels of mixing you're going to need. If it's just one speaker, you can probably get by with a small mixer like this. This right here, which is roughly about 8 channels. But if you're going to have a band, then depending on how large that band is, you may need to have a mixer that's going to support all those instruments and singers and speakers and so forth. So say for example, if you got a drummer, a drummer itself by itself can require up to 7 microphones depending on the size of the set. So anyway, you can see that as you increase your number of people in your band, your number of channels are going to increase. The next thing you want to do is kind of think of what type of speakers you're going to use. This right here, the speaker that we have here is an 8-inch two-way powered speaker. Well, there are powered speakers and there are what we call passive speakers that require an external amplifier. Depending on your power requirements and how you can power up your system, maybe a passive speaker may be better where your power amplifier could be located back in the building. You just run the cables out to the speaker. Or you can go with a powered speaker where the amplifier is built in. Then you got to also think about the size of speakers. You can have your, this is an 8-inch driver. We call this is a two-way system, basically a high frequency driver and a low frequency driver. As you want to have greater fidelity in your audio, like with a band, you want to probably go with your speakers that have larger woofers, from a 10-inch, 12-inch, 18-inch, 15-inch, so forth. So let's talk about some tips as far as setting up your system once you've got all those things established. First of all, I would say that when you're setting up your mixer, that you want to do a mono mix. And what does it mean by mono mix? Your left and right channels need to be the same. Ideally, you want to have every person get the same type of sound or the same sound experience from anybody in that area. But if you try to do a stereo mix, one person over here may get more of a guitar, they may not get a guitar over on the left-hand side. So anyway, that you want to have a mono mix. The other thing you want to do is you want to have your speakers separated, to a certain degree. If you have a platform, make sure your speakers are separated well enough, but not too far away, so that you have adequate coverage of the area, especially towards the front. Because the other thing too you want to think about with your speakers is that you want to make sure that your speakers are in front of your platform, so that your microphones are placed somewhat behind the speakers, so that you don't have feedback issues. Because as you get your microphone too close to the speaker, you're going to get feedback. Never point your microphone into the speaker, because that's where you're going to have a lot of challenges with feedback. Since your microphones are going to be behind the speakers, it's probably a good idea to get floor monitors. Floor monitors will allow you to be able to hear yourself as you're presenting, and also for your musicians to be able to hear themselves as they're playing. Normally we run the main outputs for your main speakers and then an auxiliary output for your floor monitors. The other thing I would recommend too is that you mount your speakers on stands. It's very hard for your speakers to have good coverage if your speakers are on the ground or too low. You want to try and get these as high as they possibly can, most preferably around ear level. These right now are kind of set up a little low, but I would probably have these set up a little higher so that it can adequately cover your audience area. And I would say also too, keep objects away from your front of your speakers. You don't want to have a pole here or trees in front of there or anything that can potentially block the sound. If you enjoyed this, please like us and subscribe to our channel for more helpful hints. This is Todd Bethel, and until next time, have a great day.